six. Hit them for six. This time is plenty licks. Hit them for six. Hit them for six. This time is plenty licks. Leave at your door, knocking boom, boom, boom. Leave at your door.
I won't hear you. I won't hear you. I won't hear you.
Come right at your door, knocking boom, boom.
Sing for me. Sing for me.
Come right at your door, knocking boom.
Sing it.
Boom, boom.
And every time I knock on my neighbor door, sing it. I hear it.
And every time I knock on me neighbor door, I hear it.
Comrades, next week Thursday, when they wake up early and they drink some Shadon Vinny, Audrey, what's your name? Shadon Vinny? As they drink some ginger tea. And some elephant grass tea, I don't know. Listen, and they eat 2 bakes. Go down in the line, comrades. Stand up in the lines, comrades. Whether it's rain or shine, comrades. Walk with the umbrella, comrades. Go in the lines. Stay in the lines. Make sure you mark your X for labor. Would the driver of 772 please remove your vehicle now? The police want it moved. 772. That driver, move your vehicle. And comrades, when you don't vote in the Grenadines, both the southern for Chevron and the northern for Carlos, I want you to vote so strong that all Friday and Terrence absent vehicle says, Mother! Comrades, I want to welcome the Prime Minister. Welcome the comrade leader. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yo, Labour people, hear this. When my pencil marking exits for Labour, for who? Labour. Everybody, Mother.
Comrades, so let me get this speech started. That was only the welcome. That was only the welcome. So you can imagine what's coming after that. To bring greetings to you, comrade, and to endorse your candidate, Sister Chevron, is a comrade who has worked with Chevron. So she has a professional and a personal relationship with her. And she could tell you the kind of representative, the type of leadership that Chevron has shown while working with her. I want you to welcome on stage our comrade sister, Audrey. Sister Audrey. Comrade Audrey.
Never seen you looking so lovely as you did tonight. Never seen you shine so bright. Never seen so many men ask you if you wanted to dance. Looking for a little romance. Can I have a chance? I've never seen a
When my pencil marking exits for Labour, for who? Labour. Everybody, Mother. Labour, the work and live up.
and gentlemen, comrades of the proud and resilient Southern Grenadines, good night. I stand proudly on behalf of a woman whose life, character, and service speak louder than any slogan or campaign line. I stand on behalf of Siobhan Stewart, the Unity Labour Party's candidate for the Southern Grenadines, a woman of compassion, courage, and unwavering commitment to her people. Siobhan is not new to us. She's not a name suddenly appearing at election time. She's a daughter of these islands, tested, trusted, and proven by the very hands and hearts of the Southern Grenadines. I have known her for over 30 years. First as the daughter of a nurse, Sister Anne Doriche, then as a colleague at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. I am more than qualified to tell you about her as a professional and as a human being. When hardship struck our communities, when our divers were battling the dangers of the bends, when lives were at stake and time was running out, Siobhan did not watch from afar, and she did not run away. She did not take a plane. She did not take a boat. Instead of running from, she ran to her people. She stepped forward. She fought. She worked tirelessly, shoulder to shoulder with the people to help to restore normalcy. She was instrumental in securing a hyperbaric chamber, an essential equipment that today stands as a testament of her determination and her deep love for her community. When La Soufrière erupted and evacuees were frightened, displaced, and uncertain, Siobhan did not wait for someone else to respond. She reached into her own purse, gave of her own resources, and devoted her own time to ensure that families had food, clothing, comfort, and dignity. She did it quietly. She did it sincerely. She did it because she cares. Her professional life is equally remarkable. Siobhan stands among the best radiographers, the best professionals in the region, recognized not just for her skill, but for her compassion. In her work, she serves people at their most vulnerable moments. And every patient who encounters her knows that they are in the hands of someone who genuinely values human life. Before she assumed the responsibility of chief radiographer at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, the department operated on an on-call basis after 4 p.m. The emergency department, that is the A.N., called staff members when there was a need, when there was an emergency, and send the ambulance to get that person to the hospital. Siobhan understood fully that in healthcare, every second counts, and that seconds can make the difference between life and death. With her leadership, services are now 24/7, 365, meaning that radiographic services are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Love all of me, love all of you. Love your curve and all your edges.
Yes, comrades, there's no more waiting for 30 minutes, 45 minutes or more, depending on where the officer lived. It is now service on demand. Thank you, Siobhan, on behalf of all the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for this transformation. This is the kind of leader the Southern Grenadines deserve. A leader who listens, a leader who shows up, not only in good times, but especially in the darkest ones. A leader whose heart for service is not an act, but a way of life. Chevron's love for the people is not selective. It is not political, you hear me? Chevron's love for people is not political. It is not performative. It is real. It is proven, and it is exactly what your constituency, the constituency of the Southern Grenadines, needs to move forward. When the Unity Labour Party, with the Unity Labour Party, Chevron is ready to champion better health care, stronger infrastructure, greater opportunities for the youth, and a future where every island in this constituency feels heard, supported, and empowered.
Searching for a better way. Searching for a better day.
She has already shown what true leadership looks like, not in speeches, but in action, not in promises, but in sacrifice, not in words, but in the lives she has touched. And so tonight, comrades, I proudly ask you to stand with her, to believe in her, to support her, to vote for her, because she has already shown you who she is. Siobhan Stewart is a servant leader. She is definitely one of you. She is for you. And with your support, she will continue to rise with the Southern Grenadines in her heart and in the hands of the people. She's not a leader who stands above you. She's a leader who stands with you. She does not believe leadership means giving orders. She believes it means listening, learning, and working hand in hand with the people she serves. Too often leaders speak, but do not hear. But Siobhan Stewart is different. She listens deeply. She respects your voice, and she values your wisdom. She does not only advise, you advise her as well, and she accepts that advice with humility and gratitude. She believes that the greatest solutions come directly from the people who live in the realities every day. And she has shown time and time again that when you speak, she acts. You ask for an automated telemachine so that you no longer have to travel long distances just to access your own money. She listened. Your request is being processed because Chevron knows that accessibility and dignity go hand in hand. You call for a stronger, more reliable solid waste management system because your islands deserve to remain clean, healthy, and beautiful. Not sometimes, but always. And again, she listened. Your concerns were not pushed aside. They are being turned into tangible actions. You ask for better support for your children and the elderly, especially those who must travel between islands for school, health care, or family responsibilities. You ask for boat passes so that transportation will no longer be a burden or an obstacle. And she listened because she believes no child should struggle to reach the school and no elderly person should be left behind. You ask for opportunities, real opportunities, for your young people and young adults. You ask for a technical and vocational center, a place where skills can be developed, careers can be built, and futures can be shaped right here in the Southern Grenadines. And again, she listened. She knows that education and skills training are not luxuries, they are necessities for progress. These are not small requests. These are not minor matters. These are the needs of a people who deserve better and who have waited for too long to be heard by a representative. Chevron has taken every single one of these concerns seriously. Your requests are not sitting on a shelf. They are actively being processed, moved forward, and championed. This is what servant leadership looks like. It is not just showing up. It is showing care. It is not just hearing. It is listening. It is not just promising. It is acting. Chevron Stewart understands that leadership is a partnership. She knows that no progress is meaningful unless it reflects the needs, hopes, and dreams of the people. And she has shown that she will never turn her back on the voices of the Southern Grenadines. She keeps her promise because she believes that failing to keep her promise is a betrayal of the trust that you, the people of the Southern Grenadines, have placed in her. So, as you consider your future, your children's future, and the direction of these islands, remember this. Chevron leads with her heart, works with her hands, and listens with her soul. She's ready to serve, not in words, but in deeds. She's ready to build, not alone, but alongside you. And she's ready to move the Southern Grenadines forward with her voice, guiding her with your voice, guiding her every step of the way. I thank you, people of the Southern Grenadines, and may God continue to bless you. On the future, vote for Chevron.
Love means so many different things, but you're all that matters. This is all I'll ever ask of you. Baby, tell me your dreams so they can be mine too. Let me be there to help them come true. Tell me your fears when you feel afraid. Come to
Yes,
my
comrades,
arms
yes, comrades.
and rock them away. That's all I'll ever ask. That's all I'll ever ask. That's all I'll ever ask of you.
That's the powerful sister, Comrade Audrey Gittins, bringing greetings and endorsing your candidate, Chevron Stewart. Comrades, these elections are serious. Some of the most critical ever in the history of our blessed nation. They determine whether we halt and push back the gains and the strides we've made over the last 24 years, or whether we continue to build on the solid foundations laid as we head towards first world country status. And there is only one government, or rather one party voted into government that can do that for you, and that's the Unity Labour Party.
On the campaign, we on the campaign, and vote back, you will be again. Defend your leaders, defend your country, defend your party, defend your game.
As I look out in the crowd, comrades, as I look out in the crowd, comrades, I see young people. I see young people. I see young people saying that they are owning the future with labor.
No matter what it says, labor on the way. Boy, I'm not trading, not exchanging labor.
And give me 2 seconds before I bring on Brother Carlos to send a message to some parents. 2 seconds. There are parents here on CANOUAN and throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines who themselves, throughout their careers, their young adult, middle-adult lives, were robbed of opportunities by the NDP. They were qualified teachers. They were nurses. They were public servants. They were police officers. And they never had opportunities to expand on their academic development. They didn't. They wanted to. They didn't have the money. And the government never provided any avenues for them to develop. That is why today, comrades, you have parents, public servants, police teachers in their 40s who are going to university with their children. This government providing opportunities for both parents and children. And would you believe, comrades, Prime Minister, forgive me please, but I'm going to be strong on this one here. Some of those wicked parents telling those children to vote against the future.
What your government? Labor for bread.
If that's not the height of wickedness, I don't know what is. But the young people are saying, no parents. The young people are saying, Daddy, Mommy, I'm not with you on this one. I want my scholarship. I want my tuition assistance. I want my 100% mortgage. So I'm not with you on this one. I'm going to bring on the comrade who's going to challenge Godwin Friday next Thursday. He is carrying the mantle of our party into the next general election. He has been representing the Northern Grenadines in ways that Friday never has. He has made Friday look so bad. He has made Friday look so bad. Friday hiding. And I believe the people of the Northern Grenadines, the comrades all, the residents there, are going to realize that in Carlos Williams, they have a man who has their interests at heart and will elect him come next Thursday. Comrade Carlos, come to the microphone, comrade.
Labor people from every nation, all of creation, we bow before the ancient. Every tongue we shall declare the glory. Shall bow at the throne. We shall worship. Exalted, dear Lord, and your kingdom, O ancient of days. We are a people and a party that believe in God. God is center to all that we have done and will continue to do. So we give him praise. We give him thanks. Help me worship the Lord, people. This is saying thank you, Lord, for 25 years of leadership under Comrade Ralph Gunsaw. This is saying thank you, Lord, for the future which is ahead under Labour, for CANOUAN, for Southern Grenadines, for Northern Grenadines, under Comrade leadership, and under Chevron leadership. So we thank you, Lord, and we give you thanks. For this is the day that the Lord what? And we will do what? We will rejoice and we will be glad. And you know why we are going to be glad even more? Because we have a government under the leadership of Dr. Ralph Gonsalve, who is in charge of this ship of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you know why so? Because God is in charge of his life. Yes. So it is about giving thanks to God, while at the same time we set forth the plans of labor for the Grenadines, northern southern Grenadines. Help me sing the song. Give God thanks. From the earth to the cross, to the grave. Lord, we all lift your name on high. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I always believe that in everything that we do, that him who is foremost must be given that preeminence. And that man is Christ Jesus. And I want you to recognize that within your life. And I want you to understand that labor is who labor is today because of God and because the comrade leader ensure of that president within our party. But comrade of Southern Grenadines, comrades of my row, let me hear you, comrades of my row, comrades of Union Island, comrades of Union Island. What about the comrades of CANOUAN? Let me hear you, labor. Me and my neighbor, we voted for labor. We are here together as one people. The Grenadines will reunite. The Grenadines will reunite in this fight because Chevron must win and call us in Northern Grenadines. And I'm not here alone, you know. I am not here alone. You know, I came across the seas not too long ago. And I didn't come alone. The energy that is here is the same energy that is in Northern Grenadines. Comrades of Northern Grenadines, let me hear you.
Right now, my country making progress.
Yes, we in solidarity with Comrade Stuart. We winning this together.
I believe they want to feather their nest.
They will never feather the nest under this government. Not with Chevron and not with Carlos. We are here tonight standing in solidarity with this magnificent woman in the person of Chevron Strode. Northern Grenadines understands the call. And Southern Grenadines, so too. So together, Northern and Southern Grenadines, we're going to take all of the Grenadines this time around for labor. And you have to ensure this happen here in CANOUAN. So I bring you greetings from Northern Grenadines. But I want to also bring you some greetings, Chevron, from some very special people who are from CANOUAN, but they are not here. They reside in Bequia. People that you know. So I come here tonight, Chevron, with their blessings. I come here tonight with their endorsement for you, Chevron. And you know what else? And it is their encouragement to their families who are here that you must support Chevron Stuart. You know, I speak of my wife, for many of you here on on CANOUAN will know. You used to refer to her as Little Nadie for Nadia for Nathan. I come with her blessings and her endorsement of Siobhan here on CANOUAN. And many of you here will know my mother-in-law, Maria. Yes. She sent her love. She sent her support and asks that you rally CANOUAN. You rally her families and friends to come out and to support Siobhan Strode. So I am not here alone. And I come with a very strong message to you here, the people in CANOUAN. Siobhan Strode for CANOUAN, for Myro, for Union Island, 2025, November 2027. The celebration, Prime Minister, is going to be in the Grenadines. It is the first time that we are seeing this sort of energy for labor throughout the entire Grenadines. And it tells me that labor is alive and well in the Grenadines, that labor have been working for the northern and for the southern Grenadines. My friends, when they come to you with their BSs, when they come to you with their emptiness and their nothingness, let them know in uncertain terms that you are not foolish, you are not dumb, because you have sense and you know what is going on. The education revolution have touched you. Let them know that. Let them know that the years of idleness and the years of backwardness, the years of laziness is over. That we are a people who have been revolutionized because of labor. And we know right, we know wrong, we know representation, and what you have gotten from them and what they have given you, both in northern and southern Grenadines, were absence by far of representation. And let them know that November 2027, you are taking reign of your destiny, that you are in charge of who you are and your future. But tonight we have a very serious decision to make on November 27. And the conversation tonight is one that I want you to be thinking carefully about. You have in southern Grenadines, CANOUAN, and I'm addressing you. You have two persons. You have two individuals from which you have a choice to make. And I believe the choice is clear. I know the choice is clear. And you are here as a demonstration of that fact that you know. That you know. And yes, brother, I agree with you. And we will be making history. And you know what else we're going to make in history on here in the Grenadines? There is a man, and you're going to hear more about it. There is a man who thought that he can enjoy the benefits of two worlds for over 25 years. But the reckoning is at his doorstep. The reckoning is at his doorstep. And we in Northern Grenadines are turning things up. We are turning things upside down. As we say there, we are holding the opposition leader. We are holding Terence Oliver accountable, honest, and trusting. You have to help us to do this. As I was saying, you have two persons in Southern Grenadines who are asking for your vote. You have a man over 17 plus years who have represented this era. And all you get from this man is photo ops and postcard moments. A man who has said to you on many occasions that labor is indeed working. A man who has said to you, thank God for Comrade Ralph and for what Comrade Ralph have done. You recall his statement with regards to that wharf and how it used to be and how CANOUAN, since Labour and since Ralph have transformed. This man has said it to you. Said it to you that I have failed, as in Terence Oliver. You have a man in Terence Oliver during the time of burial was nowhere to be found. Absent Terence. He was nowhere to be found. Not only is he lazy, but Terence for over 17 years did not vote an ounce of salt, because Terence did not and have not done a single thing to advance the future and the development here in CANOUAN and in Southern Grenadines. So that is the man who was nowhere to be found during burial at all. You know, he was nowhere to be found. And when Labour, when Comrade Ralph, Comrade Brewster, Siobhan, and the others were there cleaning up, along with Mr. Wasino, and they're so damn bad-minded. They are so damn bad-minded that the man who did not have to, but because of his love for and because of the comrade leader and the relationship, put millions into this thing. They talk his name, they bad talk him here and they bad talk him here. But God don't sleep, and God do not like or love ugly. And you must punish Terence and his team for that. But when Labour was rebuilding, was cleaning up, was rebuilding, you know, and you have heard it before, Terence did not ask for you. Terence did not ask for you, as in, comrade leader, what or how can I help to clean up CANOUAN, Southern Grenadines? What can I do with Labour to make and to improve our people? You know what they were doing? The opposition leader, including Terence and the others, they were going and they were begging comrade leader, Comrade Brewster, as oh God, fix up Terrence's house. That is somebody who loves you. That is somebody who cares about you. No, selfish and bad-minded is who they are. They are dangerous people. And you know, in these elections, you are going to help us to hold Terence accountable. You are going to be the judge, the jury, and everything else. And you are going to help us here with Siobhan to sentence Terence finally to a banishment, finally to end of his political career here in CANOUAN, in Myro, and in Union Island. Because the representation have been faulty and nothing at best. But who do you have? Who do you have as the woman? The woman who is going to be your next era representative. And I ain't saying it with no water in my mouth, you know. I am not saying it with no water in my mouth. Look at Siobhan. Siobhan, stand up with us, you know. Look at Siobhan. Come on. If it is only for beauty, you have to vote Siobhan. If it is only for charisma, you have to vote Siobhan. Yeah. Terence walk lazy, he talk lazy. Not Siobhan. Look at the woman. As the Prime Minister will often say, you know, the damsel, you know, the royal stock of Labour.
You'll never find.
You'll never find.
As long as you live, someone who loves you tender like I do. You'll never find.
And that song is so aptly describe Siobhan. CANOUAN, you will never find somebody who loves you, who cares for you, as Siobhan. I have worked with Siobhan for the past few months. And this is somebody I would tell you she have your back. She just don't talk it. Because within this party, we are not just talkers, we are doers. And you know why? We have a leader who is result-oriented. A leader who ensures that his team work together as one. Within this flock and within Siobhan, you have somebody who is not contradiction to the cause. Somebody who is not confused as to why she is asking you to support and to vote her. But in Terence Oliver, there is no clear path. There is no clear indications as to why. You listen to him and you wonder why after 20 plus years we continue to have men like Terence Oliver and Godwin Friday serving a people in the Grenadines. Is it because of a curse? 27 November 2025. It is reckoning. You have to break that curse. Mother, father, the curse of generation come November 2025. I declare it broken. I declare that spell broken over CANOUAN. But you see, I'm telling you about Siobhan, you know, very dynamic. Very, very dynamic. Siobhan understands the call for this urgent change that Southern Grenadines need at this point in time. And you know why we need that urgent change? And the Prime Minister will talk about it. You know, the Prime Minister talked about his plans, our plans. And this party, I will let you know, is not a party that promise and promise and promise and promise. We plan and we execute. We plan and we execute. So the Prime Minister will tell you more about our plans to take St. Vincent and the Grenadines in nowhere are left out, but rather the Grenadines be in the heart of that transformation, making St. Vincent and the Grenadines a first-class nation within this global space here in the region. We have a country to build.
If we don't do it, who will? We gotta.
But you know, to ensure that Southern Grenadines is part of that transformation in its fullest context, we have to ensure that after the 27th of November 2025, that Siobhan Stewart, along with Carlos Williams in Northern Grenadines, is sitting not just in Parliament, but is sitting in Cabinet. That's where the decisions are. And I'll tell you something. The Comrade Leeward will tell you that he needs Siobhan in Southern Grenadines. You need Carlos in Northern Grenadines. You know why? Because we understand the mission. We understand the purpose. And most so we understand people, because centered to who we are and centered to our philosophy, it's you, young man, you, young woman, you, mommy, you, daddy, boy and girl. You are centered to all of our development thrusts. And it is for you why this government have been working. When they say to us that we cannot and they will not attempt universal education until 2030. We are now 2025, and I believe that we are already maybe over 99% success in achieving this goal, but we're in 2025. But they said to us that they will attempt it. There's no guarantee. They will attempt it in 2030. And these people want to hoodwink us today and tell us that they have a plan, they have a vision. Heaven help us. people of CANOUAN, mommy, daddy, grandpa, grandma, I know you're not here on the grounds here with us, but I know you are in your houses, and I know you are listening. I come to you tonight with clarity. I come to you tonight with a message. With a message that you will be held responsible for the young man who fails tomorrow. If you do not, in this election, break away from the curse and make the right decision, make the right choice here in Southern Grenadines, and vote Chevron Stewart. And it must be overwhelming. You know? That is the choice of the two persons you have before you. This young lady in Chevron presents and brings to you the fresh water that will wash away. She will wash away her hopefulness for Southern Grenadines, CANOUAN. Her desires to see this community develop will wash away the bitter taste of broken promise, which is Terence Oliver in these elections. This is serious. But there is a matter. There is a matter that I must, and I'm going to go through here quickly, because I know Myra and CANOUAN have to travel and the PM and Chevron have to speak. There is a matter of leadership, and there is a matter of loyalty that is at the heart of these elections here, not just in the Grenadines. But I've indicated earlier on of a gentleman, and there are two of them. A gentleman in the person of Dr. Friday in Northern Grenadines, who sat as the MP for Northern Grenadines for 20 plus years, knowing that he was sitting and occupying a position and a seat illegally. Why? Because according to our Constitution, People's Representation Act, Section 36, it sets out clearly who can and who cannot sit or represent. You represent me. But the people of Northern Grenadines allowed him. But he knew. He knew. This gentleman, and you would have heard, for over 20 plus years, shared, along with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, what we call split loyalty. That is, this man, not only being of intention, but of his own choosing, swore allegiance to a power, to an entity, to a foreign country. And according to our Constitution, you cannot, if you so choose to do, represent in our parliament or represent our people. And I'll tell you why, and you need to listen to this. Because the challenge with that, CANOUAN, and anybody who votes for Dr. Friday in the upcoming elections, do so as an encouragement and are equally guilty of committing an act against our Constitution. Because how can you, as a businessman, have an employee, central employee, but that employee not only represents your company, but that employee at the same time of representing your company is representing another company. That employee meets to discuss matters that will breach agreement pertaining to company A, company B. The question here is, whose interests will be served? whose interests will be represented. And this is at the core of. And remember I said we're holding him accountable, trusting, and honest. And for over 20-something years, he knew that he committed an act of violation against our Constitution. And he chose to deprive, in many ways, the people of St. Vincent and also the country to whom he saw his allegiance to. But the reckoning is coming. You cannot serve two masters at the same time. You must choose one. And we in Northern Grenadines have held his feet to fire and have said to him, declare your position, declare your hand, choose ye who you will serve. We are awaiting an answer from him. But the PM have already said, if he fails to answer, it is because he will be held accountable. So as I wrap, I want to tell you what Chevron under this ULP is going to do for you in 2026 and beyond. In this document here, which is called the Manifesto Labor is Working for All of Us. And you recognize still now they cannot and they fail to deliver to you a blueprint or a plan. You recognize that. But our comrade leader and leader have presented to you in this document a plan of which Chevron will expand upon here for Northern Grenadines. Improvements to healthcare, improvements to education, improvements to infrastructure, roads and everything else, improvements to tourism. These are things that are not just promises, they are plans, and we will with Chevron execute them. So I urge you, 2025, November 2027, CANOUAN, that solemn message. You have one clear choice. You have one clear decision to make. You have one vote to make. You have one X to make. And that is to one individual. There is nobody else who will be there representing. All you see is our code, the code which is red, the code which is Chevron Stewart. The star is the symbol. I urge you, when you go to the polls, you are voting for your future. Granny, you are voting for your son, your daughter, your grandchild, your great-grand future. Chevron Stewart is that choice. Chevron Stewart is the only person whose voice will be heard after the election representing you. And the only voice that have been representing you over the past months. I stand beside Chevron and I'm waiting for you. As comrade would tell you, we are waiting for Chevron Stewart to come home stronger and stronger, stronger than ever in CANOUAN. CANOUAN, this is your time to break away. This is your time to leave the other side of laziness, nothingness, and emptiness, and come over here to Chevron, and let us transform, let us continue to transform the Southern Grenadines, the Northern Grenadines together. I cannot do it alone, Southern Grenadines. I need in Southern Grenadines Chevron to work, and we work together to transform the Grenadines as we build out St. Vincent to the first world nation over the next 15 to 20 years. Comrades of CANOUAN, I urge you, and may God continue to bless us all. May God continue to bless this party. May God continue to bless St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A pleasant good night. God bless us. God bless us all. Thank you.
One more time, sing, oh.
Comrades, comrades, comrades! You know something? I know the DJ just played I Know Who I Am. I Know Who I Am. And it sounds like a gospelish. But right now, I sorry. I was a mother. Hey! I asked the comrade who prayed for us at the beginning. I said, if I bring the James EP now, I get punished? He said, no. He said, I get punished. So I bring the James EP. Comrades, it is no doubt. It is no doubt at all that Labour has been working for us. And M&M, the man in front there say, they can't be Gonzales. Bring the James from last election, give him please now. Bring it and tell me. Let me tell them, they can't beat Labour. Labour in my veins and my... They're trying hard to beat Labour. But to beat Labour in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you have to come with plans. You have to come with programs. You have to come with policies that can beat what Labour has. And I am sorry, but after we launched our manifesto, Friday went to his smartphone and he said, ChatGPT, bring a manifesto. So hey, their ChatGPT manifesto coming sometime soon. Remember, you know, in 2010, when Labour talked about building a modern hospital, they went on Farmville and Facebook and pulled down one, you know. The custom.
Bad-minded. Some people bad-minded. Bad-minded. Some people bad.
So tonight, comrades, you are going to continue to hear about the plans of Labour. Now I bring another comrade who's going to give a testimony. Where were they? Wayne Lewis? Comrade Wayne? I can't hear 3 times. If you ain't come and move on. Comrade Wayne Lewis? All right, you reach. The good comrade is going to come and give a testimony and an endorsement of your comrade, Siobhan. You love Siobhan. You know why you love Siobhan. Wayne loves Siobhan. Let me go with him. Drop it.
Frightened feelings, me I start to me thing. I mean not just some boy cause them advertise me drinks. And if me no rate, I mean no go run your people. Me no want me no links. Cause me know if it will out. If me can't buy a spliff, much less see buy a drinks. Never grew up fi bogot. Cause me born as a thug, and me mother never grew a whim. Me no frightened for people, no frightened for people. No it's a people, I be frightened for me.
Good night, Labour family. Well, everyone should know who I am. And we have a good captain with a good crew that have bring us to the best on every situation that he was faced with. So I'm saying, why change when you have a captain that will bring you through all the storms? As a young man growing up in this community, I had 2 choices. And I went to sea at the age of 14. The opportunities that is afforded now to our people was not there. We have a government that is working for us. Not just the elders, the kids, and everybody else. So I'm begging you guys to seriously think about your future and the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and continue to vote Comrade Ralph. Put him back in office. Thank you.
I'm in your corner, friend. I'm in your corner. Anytime the trouble is on, I'm in your corner, friend. I'm in your corner. When you need someone around, you know I'll be your friend. Cause I'm in your corner. Anytime the trouble is on you, I'm in your corner, friend. Yes, I'm in your corner, and I'm never gonna let you down. And if we lose it all and everything slide down, stand on the big ride, she stand up by the king side. I'm some dog, I want it down on the inside. One call and I'm still smiling, I'm on down the thing vibe. In your corner like the coach, on the ringside, yeah. From with you.
Comrades, Labour, Chevron, Comrade Ralph have been in your corner. Here in the Southern Grenadines, it is widely accepted that after Beryl, that they were the people you saw. Comrades are still saying Terrence was absent. Terrence was absent. But the arrogance of Terrence is one that says, you are going to ignore your reality, your individual realities. You are going to ignore the fact that Labour worked for you and vote for him. You have to show Terrence that you ain't bad-minded. You have to show Terrence that you're not forgetful. You have to show Terrence, that's not good too. You have to show Terrence that gratitude is a must.
Wicked out, must put you down, burning you with words, power and sound. Yeah, full.
And so, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including the Northern and Southern Grenadines, would remember that Labour has worked for them. I'm bringing on a young man who has a very powerful name, one that screams leadership. And I realize when I call him. And he's coming on to endorse the candidacy of your comrade. I'm going to bring on for you the brother James. James Compton. Give him a round of applause, comrade.
It's my security, and I'm going out and coming in. Never leave my jaja. I keep us far from vampires. You're never going out and coming in. Keep me by your right hand and keep me far from Satan.
My Labour friends, my Labour family. Well, hello, I am a snaggy, hog, and the pig together too. Here's to tell you something. You see me? 2001, me joined the Labour Hog. Me most joined Labour 2001, and me not turn back. And listen me, please. Me share a union all about it, Mr. Snaggy, but now it's Chevron time. And me not change from Snaggy. Me going to Chevron. Me gang, and yo, please wait a while. When I was a youth man, I joined the NDP 17 years, and the Prime Minister said it was my own cousin, Mitchell. And my father was carrying on the back like a donkey. Me tell you so, most strength tell you so. My father carried Mitchell like a donkey on the back, and he's still. But the problem is, don't laugh, don't cry. He come to see me father, and he killed me father. Because the same time he left the house, my father died because he grieved the way he treat him. And I don't care who want to hate, but I'm telling you the truth. Phyllis' grandmother, not mine. Phyllis' grandmother, I'm here first. Phyllis' grandmother, my grandmother. That man there used to come by we, and Phyllis had to wait for the scrums. After he don't eat, forget the scrums. And me and she had to wait for the scrums. When he come there, is the general. And a man, when he win, he never come back by me grandmother. Never. Never. He never. Hello, wait. And people of CANOUAN telling me I should have shame. When he was ashamed of me, because my father said, vote Ralph. And me bro, listen to me. I want Snaggy here at the union. Because when Snaggy come to see my father the same day, he cry. He say, Snaggy, take care of your son, more strength. And that's the reason why me done more labor hard than hard. Me. And hello. And wait a while stand. Because me listen labor every day, all of my life, 25 years, so I know everything about labor. Because me labor in my blood and me stream everything in. You understand? Me just say, the only how the son and grannies go, if he dead, he tell me father, the only how the son and grannies go home, if he dead, when he dead, I take home. Take home. Is there when he dead take home? But as I am alive, you can't get home. And you know, Shervan, I love you. We will go all over you. But I want you and I about over $600 over 600 overall. Over 600. Over 600. Over 600. I want the Union Islands, Clifton and Snagion, without Ashton, divided in half. Now we mash up Ashton. They the stronghold there for him. Now we kill Ashton and say, when we left Union, we don't win. My brother shows us so we do it now. I want to when we left Ashton, we don't CANOUAN go make up the ends. Left Union don't win. Good night. My future no writer. Life just ask me for show my mind. But still stay strong. Still stay strong. Man strap on my life, me never weak out when the rough days on. But still stay strong. Still stay strong.
Well, the comrade spoke with passion. The comrade spoke from his heart. I don't need any commentary on that. Let us settle. Let us sing. Comrades, I want you all to ready all yourself to hear from a candidate. Comrades, for years, since 2001, Terence absent there has been voted in but kept out from representing you. He has been absent when you need him most. Let me explain to you how government should work. Terence is not part of the executive, the cabinet of ministers. He is part of the legislature because you sent him there. And Terence, as Prime Minister Gonzalez has said over and over, has an open door where he can go to any minister and discuss. He can go to Comrade Brewster and say, Comrade Brewster, I have some comrades, some constituents who need X or Y help. How can we work together? He can go to the Minister of Education, make an appointment, go to the office. He can make an appointment to see the Honorable Prime Minister. But he thinks that he can govern from the opposition. No way! You can't govern from the opposition. Let the executive govern. And our executive, the Unity Labour Party, has been governing. And this election, the request, comrades, that Chevron is making to you is to give her a chance to properly and effectively represent you in the government. The question and the decision that you have to make, the question you must answer, is whether you want to continue with what you have in no representation and then going behind Chevron to ask her to do this and that for you, even though you vote for somebody else, or make sure that you vote Chevron on the 27th of November so she can represent you. And let me say one final thing, because I'm going to bring up some entertainment, one of your own, and Chevron will come on immediately after that. I'll allow the entertainer to endorse Chevron and bring on, because that's how it's supposed to go. But let me say one more thing. Come next week, individuals can go to the polls and vote for the NDP and cause them to win if they so desire change. But you know who would be equally as responsible if that happens? Those comrades in Labour who sit down home and say they're not voting. You would be just as responsible for an NDP victory. So, comrades, to continue this excellence in governance, to continue the work of Labour for you on your behalf, each of you, comrades, must get up, must walk with a friend, walk with a family, knock on your neighbor door, and carry them to the polling station and put your X for Chevron and Labour. And she could tell you more when she come on. But for right now, I'm going to bring on somebody to entertain you. He's one of your own. Tell me hold on. So they want me to talk some more. You want me to talk some more? No. Comrades, I want one favor from you. Listen to me, comrades. I have a serious favor to ask you tonight, comrades. Please. You ready? Let me hear the horns! Comrade at your door knocking. Comrade at your door knocking. All right, comrade. I ain't supposed to perform. Let me bring on the brethren who is going to perform for you. Your very own comrade. Welcome, Max Cole.
Yeah. Blow horn. Blow horn. Blow horn. Blow horn. CANOUAN. Women Labour people up there. Hold on. Anybody from Union? Anybody from Myro? Jiki? CANOUAN. 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 Let me go. Red and rally, put your hand up in the air. Red and rally, put your hand up in the air. up in the air. Red and rally, put your hand up. Everybody, labor walking for we. Labor walking. Oh God, Chicky, hand up in the air. Tell them, brother, rally, put your hand up. Everybody, labor walking for we. Labor is walking. Tell them, labor walking for we. Labor is walking. Choices. Tell them, the Chevy is here to stay. Hold on. If all they love Chevron and the Prime Minister, everybody jump. Labor walking for we. Labor is walking. Labor walking for we. Labor walking for we. Labor is. I said the choice is clear. So Chevy is here to stay. I said the choices. Tell them the Prime Minister ain't going away. Hear me now. Watch out the place, Jiggy. When you touch down in a AIA, tell them I obey. I.A.N. The red man, he have a plan. You could go down in Buckham and on the white sand with sandals. What a lovely scene. You could check the tourism in Southern Grenadines. If all the love shovel, somebody blood. I'll say Chevy for the win. Chevy for the win. Chevy for the win. Chevy for the win. On the 27th of November. Who we voting? Who we voting? Who we voting? Chevron State. Red and rally, put your hand up in the air. Red and rally, put your hand up in the air. Red and rally, put your hand up. Everybody, labor walking for we. Labor is walking. Wama ho. Labor walking. Choice is clear. Say Chevy in. Tell them the choice is clear. Ralph not going nowhere. Hear me now. Watch out, labor Jiggy. We go touch down in AIA. I hope you're here. AIA. The red man, he have a plan. You could go down in Buckham and on the white sand with sandals. What a lovely scene. You could check the tourism in Southern Grenadines. If all they love Chevron, put up Chevron. Labor walking for we. Labor is walking. Tell them, labor walking. Labor is walking. I said the choices. The Chevron is here. Daryl, careful. Daryl, careful. Come back up here. Loop it. Give me a loop. If you love labor, somebody put their hand in the air. If you love Chevron, put something in the air. If all you're voting for Chevron start on the 27th of November, put something in the air. If it's 6, put up your 6 finger. 6 finger. 6. Let me hear all if you know this. Blood, it taker, blood taker than water. If you come to get mad, no hands in the air. Tell them, blood, it taker, blood taker than water. If you come to get mad, now. Everybody, jump up with your family. Tell them this, labor is with family. Run it. All you know we rougher than everybody. All you know we. Tell them, everybody, labor walking for we. Labor is walking. Labor walking for we. Labor is. I see the choices. Say Chevy is here to stay. I said the choices. Ralph not going nowhere. Hear me now. Watch out the place, Jiggy. You could touch down in AIA. I hope you're here. AIA. The red man, he have a plan. You could go down in Buckham and on the white sand with sandals. What a lovely scene. You could check the tourism. If the Prime Minister working for we, blow some horn. Horn, horn, horn. Labour working for we. Labour working. Give me another one. I say the choices. Here to stay. I say the choices.
1, 2, mic check, 1, 2.
All okay, are we? All okay, are we? No. Get on. Turn up bad. Turn up bad. Everybody know. Mic check, mic check.
1, 2, 1, 2.
If I love the Unity Labour Party, every testing. Hold on.
Mic
Quiet.
check.
Quiet. Hold on. We're gonna make some noise right now in CANOUAN. Let we wake up them. I ain't calling a name. Let we wake them up. So after they come to 3, when I say testing, I'll go just blow horn, right? Right? You ready? You ready? Let me go. 1, get ready to blow horn. 2, get ready to blow horn. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, now. Blow horn. Blow horn. Get on. Turn up bad. Everybody know. Mic check. If all you love Unity Labour Party, testing. All you could hear me from front. All you could hear me in the back. Testing. All you could hear me from back. If you could hear me, get on. If you could hear me, get on bad. If you could hear me, get on. If you could hear me, get on bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm from Union Island, and I represent Southern Grenadines. I represent Siobhan Stewart. I represent Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. 6. Somebody say Labour. Let me feel so. Hey, I just have a request. Put me up to the test. Nothing more, nothing less. Let we break it down in this. Baby, don't take this the wrong way. It's all the.
Listen, 1 minute. Let me tell you something. When we win, listen to me. Me and you going to have a border clash. When we win them. Because I know Chevron is coming up with the scene. Listen to me. John 3:16. For God so loved the world, He forgiveth His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him shall not perish. You know, we go have everlasting life.
Alright, Chicky, alright. Careful. Give me the Labour song. Hold on. Let me bring Siobhan in front here. Make some noise for Siobhan Stewart. This is who we representing on the 27th of November. Nobody else. If all you love Siobhan, somebody blow horn. All you ready? Siobhan, you want to sing a song? You want to try to take? Hold on. Pull it up. I'm putting Siobhan on the spot. All I want you to say, Labour walking for me. All you gonna help she, right? All right, try it.
Labour walking for me. Labour walking.
I said the choice is clear. So Chevy is here to stay. I said the choice is. Tell them, Ralph not going away. One more time now. All ready again? Red and rally, put your hand up. Everybody, labor walking for we. Labor is. Tell them, labor walking. Say labor is walking. I say the choices. Say Chevy is here to stay. I say the choices. Ralph now going. Take me down. Watch how the place jiggy. We go touchdown in I.A.N. I hope you're here. I.A.N. The red man, he have a plan. You could go down in Bokum and pan the white sand with sandals. What a lovely scene. You could check the tourism in Southern Grenadines. Say Union, that's where I'm from. We vote in Chevy because she is the real one. Labor walking. My name is Matt Skull, and I represent Southern Grenadines and the whole Unity Labour Party. Tell them, I say the choices. So Chevy is here to stay. I say the choices. Ralph not going nowhere. Yo. So all you know. Hold on. So I want to give a testimony too. So, I was born and grew up in Union Island, right? Who know me from Union? Who know me from Iro? Who know me from CANOUAN? Right. I left Union, went to college because of Ralph. Education revolution, right? Then I get a job by the port, but not the new port, the old port. Why? Because of Ralph. You understand? And then I left, and I went to the UK. And I will say this here, the only reason why I went to the UK and joined the British military is because I couldn't get a visa to travel to perform. Because you all remember when Maxwell was Maxwell back then. Blow some horn. Well, here we are. I get it now. And I fly all the way from the UK to come here to represent Siobhan Stewart and the Prime Minister. Right? Hear me now. They say the Prime Minister ain't working, right? They say the Prime Minister ain't working. That's what they say. That is what they say, right? They lie. What is their plan? We get a new brand port, right? We have a hospital on the way. Where else? A.I.A. Right? So how the government ain't working? The government is working for us. CANOUAN. All you wake up. Labor working for we. Labor is working. Labor working for we. Labor working. My name is Matt Skull. I thank you very much.
All right, comrades, so far the meeting going good. Meeting going good and going smooth. So right now, comrades, give me back some of them horns. Give me back some of the energy. Give me back some of the shouting. Give me back some. As I bring in on the candidate, I bring in on Siobhan. Welcome, Siobhan. Give me the horns.
Strong woman. So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman. gift of life astounds me to this day. I give it up for the woman. She's the constant wind that fills my sail. Oh, that woman. With a smile and a style, she'll protect you like a child. That's a woman. She'll put a smile upon her face and take you to the higher place. So don't you underestimate strength of a woman. Strength of a woman.
Good night, comrades. Comrades of CANOUAN, good night to you.
If you don't stop blowing the horn, I will not have another word to say.
Comrades
Please stop.
of Myro, good night to you. Comrades of Union Island, good night to you. Comrades, we have a few jealous people. A few family members of mine who came down from mainland. Good night to you. Comrades, before I start addressing you, I'm going to ask you, please, let us observe 1 minute of silence for a real comrade who, had he not passed away, would have been right here by my side, Comrade Fafa of CANOUAN. So again, 1 minute of silence, please. Thank you. All right. Before I get into my speech, let me apologize for Comrade Kisal, who could not make it here tonight. She unfortunately lost her voice because she had several back-to-back meetings, so she was unable to be with us here tonight. Okay? So she sends her apologies. She would have loved to be here, but unfortunately she can't. All right. So, comrades, since this is my first public meeting on CANOUAN, I am going to reintroduce myself to the people of CANOUAN. So I am Siobhan Stewart. My mother is from mainland St. Vincent. My biological father is a Stewart from Union Island. My second father, which is my mother's husband, who has been my dad since I was 7 years of age, his roots lie in CANOUAN. So, comrades, I am no stranger to the Grenadines. As a matter of fact, in my years growing up, I remember clearly my father was responsible for education and vacation, and my mother was responsible for the rest. So every school vacation, I got packed up and sent to Union Island.
because that's vacation. So I spent a lot of time on Union Island. My other father, with roots from CANOUAN, and us operating a business throughout the Southern Grenadines, made us even more connected. There was a time that my dad and my good old Uncle Jeffrey King, who I saw in the back there, owned a vessel together called Snapper. So I used to come to CANOUAN to spend time with Uncle Jeffrey and Auntie Ursel. So I had some CANOUAN days as well. When I was 20 years of age, I migrated to the US. At that time, the NDP was in office. And that was the time when they were giving 4 scholarships a year. Only 4 scholarships a year. And I didn't qualify for one of those scholarships. So I went to the US, to New York, where I worked to pay some of my tuition and where the rest of it was paid by you, the people of the Southern Grenadines. How was it paid by you, the people of the Southern Grenadines? Because my parents operate a vessel called Gemstar that runs in the Grenadines, and your business sent me to university.
You're simply the best, better than all the rest,
So I went to the US. Thanks to you for your help. I became a radiographer there with a diploma, moved back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines after many years, where I was employed by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. I went on to Trinidad to do a degree completion, because when I did radiography at that time, it was not a bachelor's degree, it was a diploma. So I too, on my return to St. Vincent, became a product of the education revolution by the government of St. Vincent sending me to Trinidad to do a bachelor's in radiography. So I returned to St. Vincent, comrades, and I was employed by the government of St. Vincent as a radiographer. I worked my way up to chief radiographer, which makes me responsible for the imaging equipment throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The x-rays, the ultrasounds, the CAT scan, the MRI, the mammograms. I manage those equipment and services for the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When I started working with the radiology department, we had the main hospital and we had just opened the modern medical diagnostic center. During my time there, I fought so that people in other parts of St. Vincent and the Grenadines wouldn't just have to go to Kingstown or Georgetown to get those services. So with the government listening, we were able to open the Bookament X-ray radiography services. Then we opened radiography services in Mesopotamia. We extended ultrasound services to Beckway. And we are currently building a radiology room on Union Island. Comrades, not only did we build or expand services, we replaced the equipment. When I started in radiology, it was conventional radiology. We had film. You had a big jacket and you got your x-rays in it. People, anybody remember that? And you took it to the doctor for them to look at it and they would send it back to the hospital. We then moved from conventional radiography to computed radiography, and now we have digital radiography, the highest level of radiography at every facility in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
So I'm giving you the best of me. I'm giving you the best of
Comrades,
me.
if that is not a government that is working, then I don't know what it is. Comrades, not only do we have the services, but we are paying $10 for x-rays, $20 for x-rays. Comrade, those things and those prices will not continue if we were to privatize our hospital. So, while I was working at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, and on my return to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, comrade, I would have gotten involved in different organizations that would have helped our communities in one way or the other. Comrades, when the La Soufrière volcano erupted, I remember calling Winfield the next morning at the Calico school. And I said to him, how many persons do you have there at Calico? He gave me a figure. He said, why? I said, because I'm trying to see if I can mobilize to bring lunch to the shelter. He said, Siobhan, we are expecting the resources from Nemo, but they are not quite here yet. Can you mobilize to bring breakfast? I said, I can, but it's going to be a little late. I did. I made it happen. They had breakfast by 10 o'clock. While I was at the shelter, comrades, I got a phone call with someone asking me if I could take on catering for the shelters in East St. George, and I must let them know how much it would cost. While I was there, persons were just coming in with resources. They were giving and giving and giving, and I said, I thought about it. I made a call. I called back in the afternoon, and I said, you know what? I don't think I want a job to cater, because I have a little catering business. I said, I don't think I want a job to cater. As a matter of fact, I don't think you need to hire a caterer, because the amount of resources that people are giving to the shelter, we can put a system in place where we use those resources, put a team, different teams from the shelter to cook, and they can manage themselves. Comrades, I could have made thousands of dollars. I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in helping the people, having the people help themselves, and using the resources on hand to do it. Comrades, I tell you that little story because we hear people talk about they get in politics for the money. Sometimes, no, it's not about the money. It's about the service, about helping people, about wanting to help the same Grenadines people who helped me get my education. So, comrades, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to help people who have been through the roughest patches in life. So when Beryl hit the Southern Grenadines, I am the chief radiographer. I cannot just abandon the government post and run down to the Grenadines because I had facilities that did not have electricity. I had equipment that because of the outage of the electricity, the equipment would have been affected. So I had to get those equipment back up and running, services back up and running, and then I said to the comrade leader, could I please be transferred to the Grenadines where I can help my people rebuild.
Always around.
Comrade leader, comrade, sorry. Don't bother with the noise. Oh, they run, they go get her because they go and they ask her to come run for the Southern Grenadines because she's a steward and they think that she could take. No, they didn't come to me. I went to them. I went to them because I wanted to serve. So I went to the Southern Grenadines. And yes, for those who say, how could they take the chief radiographer and send her to the Southern Grenadines? And what happened to the hospital? It go fall down. It's been roughly 10 months. We have never had one news article on any newspaper about the radiology services in St. Vincent collapsing in any way. You know why? Because comrade leaders, as a leader, I lead, including everyone, teaching people how to fend for themselves, how to do the work, how to be able to operate independently without someone pulling them at all times. So, comrades, I went to Union Island. I went to Union Island as the coordinator of housing, the rebuilding project for the Southern Grenadines. And I saw most of Union Island. And as I was helping them, comrades, I never asked them one day which political party they belong to. Because I understood the assignment. And the assignment given to me was to help the people of the Southern Grenadines rebuild. It was not an assignment to help the labor people rebuild. It was an assignment to help the people of the Southern Grenadines rebuild. And comrades, that was the assignment because this government, this labor government is working for all of we. It is not just working for the ULP. It is working for all of we. And while I was there in Union Island, I came over to CANOUAN and I did the same thing. I went over to Myro and I did the same thing. And persons said to me, why now? Why Labour decide they want to help us now after 25 years? Some said to me, oh, it's not Labour, it's government resources. So it's government and they have to do it. And I said to them, you just said to me that this government, this Labour government, did nothing for the Grenadines for 25 years. I know different. I can list you things that the government did for 25 years. But I want to also say to you, if that is how you feel, that the government has done nothing for you for 25 years because you did not vote ULP, the same government could have said to you, I'm not bothering with Southern Grenadines because them ain't vote Labour in 25 years. But this government is not that kind of government, comrades. The comrade leader has a big heart, and he would never, ever turn his back on the people of the Southern Grenadines. So, comrades, when we hear people talking like that, it's because they don't have any memory, comrades. Those are the people who are short memory. Because, comrade, this Labour government did work on the CANOUAN jet port. This Labour government built the CANOUAN administrative building. This Labour government refurbished the CANOUAN police station. This Labour government did the doctors' quarters. This Labour government did land distribution in Charles Bay. This Labour government partnered with major private investors so that you, the people on CANOUAN, can have jobs. And comrades, let us not forget that. Don't make anybody tell you that this government did nothing for the people of CANOUAN. Only future, only getting stronger. And comrades, just as this government did those things in the past, championed by Mr. Snag, yes, Mr. Snag, he would have done his work, he would have championed most of those things that took place here. Just like they did that then, they will continue to do for the people of Southern Grenadines. Comrades, Hurricane Beryl showed us that this government cares for you. Remember the ferries, the free ferries up and down. Remember the cards. Remember the house, the rents that are being paid in St. Vincent. Comrade, the supplies, the building supplies that you would have received. And comrade, don't make them tell you otherwise. The comrade leader would have had conversations with Mr. Wace and was involved in Mr. Wace's decision to help CANOUAN rebuild.
Solid as a rock, solid as a, solid as a, solid as a rock, solid as a.
So, comrades, just as we did it then, we are going to continue to do it in the next term. In the next term, we are going to work on strengthening governance and service delivery by establishing a Grenadines Affairs sub-office in the Southern Grenadines. We are going to work on infrastructure and transportation development, which means we are going to be trying to improve Southern Grenadines transportation, whether it be by sea, air, or roads. We are going to work on clean water security, desalination and storage solutions for sustainable supplies of water. We are going to work on health and wellness upgrades. We want to build a healthier, more resilient Southern Grenadines. And there are ways we are going to do that, comrades. And just like I put out the exact things we are going to do for Union Island and Myro, I am certain at this time, there we go, it's already on the board, the ones for CANOUAN are going to be released and they are going to be on our social media page. We are going to work on economic empowerment and tourism growth. We are going to continue to work on housing. And comrade, let me speak a little bit about housing. We are aware that there are a few people whose homes were destroyed during burial. And we want you, I'm going to take a page. I was in housing for a good bit of months. So I learned from the best, Comrade Orlando Brewster. Put your pot on the fire. We're going to fix those houses for you. So, comrades, we have a lot. The Unity Labour Party has plans. I am not a person to sit down. As my mother said to me when I told her I wanted to get into politics, she said, I think you feel that you have done everything you could in radiography and there is nothing else to do, so you're now bored and you want to go on to the next thing. Because I have a lot of energy and I have a lot of love and I have a lot of life and I have to put it to use, comrades. So, comrade, I am not going to be your lazy representative. I could never be your lazy representative. In me, you will have a walking representative, someone who will stand up for you, someone who will fight for you, someone who will listen. Comrades, all of those things that we have decided that I went to the comrade leader to discuss for you are things you would have told me you needed. When I met you at your house, when I met you in the bars, when I met you in the street. It's not things that I came up with on my own. They are things that you have said to me that we the people of CANOUAN, or we the people of Myro, or we the people of Union Island need. And comrade, it is my duty to help you get those things. And comrades, listen to me. I want you to listen to this one good. Listen. Come November 27th, when you go to the polls and you vote for me as your representative, I am charging you with the responsibility that if I don't work for you in the first term, when you go back to the polls next time, vote me out. And comrades, understand this. I have spent a lot of time with you in this year. I have gotten to know most of you by name. Your representative, let me tell him something. Norris from Myro is here. Desmond, Adrian, Donna, and Hazelan are all here. Peter, Lynette, Phyllis, Maya, Samantha are all here in CANOUAN. Fernando, Chris, Tisha, Asanta, Devon on her birthday, and Yasmin are all here from Union Island. And you know why I know this? Because I speak to the people in the constituency. We have a relationship. We have a relationship. I speak to you, you speak to me, we know each other by name. We don't pass each other on the streets, comrades. And that, I promise you, will never happen. So come November 27, comrades, I want you to wake up your mommy, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your friends and your neighbor. Take them all with you to the polling station. Go early. Mark the X next to the star. Vote Labour. Vote for representation that matters. Vote for someone who knows you and cares about you. Thank you, comrades.
Comrades, a powerful message from a powerful lady. A sober message of substance to the people of the Southern Grenadines. Hold it. I heard the buster one day, just now. Comrades, somebody dropped something for you last night. They dropped it before you left, well, after you left. A comrade from South Leeward. So I want to drop this new one tonight in CANOUAN for the first time. It's coming from my boy Moon from South Leeward. M&M, drop the Moon. Ralpha win back. Don't worry. I'm going to bring on the comrade now. Because we've had a good meeting so far. Comrades, we've had a good meeting so far. You've heard the speeches of Carlos, Sister Audrey, your candidate, and you heard the endorsements from James and Wayne and Matt Skull. But now I want to bring on the man who is holding this thing together. The pilot. The experience, the knowledge, the wisdom that drives policy in the ULP. Someone who has contested every single general elections since independence. And when he makes decisions, you can believe it, bet your bottom dollar, that every single decision has the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines at heart. That is why when you were at your darkest point, he was there with you. And that's the kind of leadership you want. Comrades, I want you to show some love. I want you to show some love, comrades. I want you to use the horns. I want you to open your hearts for the message that is coming to you from your leader, your comrade leader, the one who has led us for 24 years and will lead us in the next term. Comrade! Comrade!
Because you got a portion to bring out the love in me, and I will bring out the love in you. Let the lover in you touch the lover in you, and the rebel in me will touch the rebel in you, and the look.
Comrades and friends of Labour, I am very happy to be here tonight to support the candidacy of Chevron Stewart, who is going to be the next parliamentary representative for the Southern Grenadines. And one of the impressive speeches we are fortunate to hear tonight from Chevron Stewart. It was a speech of substance, delivered in a style which was easy to listen to, and throughout laced with love. We have been able to secure for the people of the Southern Grenadines, simply speaking, a pearl. She is an extraordinary woman for these times. And those who had intended not to go to vote, or even to vote for the opposition candidate, I think that what she said tonight would have convinced you that you should vote for the Unity Labour Party and the candidacy of Chevron Stewart.
Come out and vote. Come out and vote. Come out and vote. Don't keep it.
The truth is you know Terence Olivier very well. And while you may like to have a casual conversation with him on the roadside, while you may like him to come by the church when your grandmother is having her funeral, the truth is this, that Terence Olivier has shown himself to be a highly inadequate representative for the people of the Southern Grenadines. In the parliament, he says very little. And what he says is often lacking in substance. And the fact of the matter, he has shown himself to be lazy. Friday is lazy. Terence is lazy. The whole NDP lazy, lazy, lazy. You know, on not one single occasion has Terence called me about anything concerning the Southern Grenadines after burial. Not on one single occasion. He has not been involved in any, not one single area of development after burial in the Southern Grenadines. This is at the time when you needed most your parliamentary representative to stand up and be counted, and he was not here for you. That is the reality. Neither the leader of the NDP. You know, what happened on July the 1st last year was so traumatic to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but particularly to the Southern Grenadines, that it shook me to the core. And I told my family members that not only me, but every one of them must be deeply involved in the recovery of the Southern Grenadines. I came to the Southern Grenadines within the 3rd day after burial. And every single week for the next 6 months, unless on an odd occasion that government business had me somewhere overseas, I was in Union, CANOUAN, and Myro. Every single week. Sometimes twice a week. It was so dramatic that I came to all 3 islands on my birthday, August the 8th. I came back on August the 12th, my wedding anniversary. The morning when I got up, I put on my jeans and my sneakers, and I said to Eloise, I have a wonderful day today, our anniversary, to spend with you. She said, you taking me somewhere really nice for lunch? I said, yes, I'm going to take you somewhere really nice. I said, put on your jeans and your sneakers. We are going to CANOUAN, to Union, and to Myro to spend our wedding anniversary. She said, and we're going to have lunch. I say, Derek is sending some guys out to dive fresh conchs this morning. And Dorrit going to cook conchs. And that is going to be our wedding anniversary lunch today. While I was coming to the Southern Grenadines, Friday was in Canada. Friday was in Canada for several weeks, having a holiday. Indeed, I want to remind you of this. On the day when we were debating the bill in Parliament for the supplementary appropriation to deal with burial, the initial supplementary appropriation of $150 million almost, to deal principally with the cleanup and with the relief. Not yet recovery, because we had to put people's body and soul together. We had to clean up all the debris so that we can then have a good environment in which we are going to do the reconstruction, the recovery and the reconstruction. The disaster was on July the 1st. On July the 17th, which is just 2.5 weeks later, I had supplementary estimates and a supplementary appropriation bill to Parliament. And on the Thursday, the opposition decided we are in a state of emergency, you know, natural disaster emergency. The opposition decided that they're going to waste time the whole day. And when in the evening, at about 5 o'clock, the time wasting continued, I told them, you're wasting time today. When we have a bill on the order paper to approve monies to deal with the Southern Grenadines and St. Vincent and the Grenadines generally after burial disaster, I said, if you waste the time now, I'm going to take you into 4 in the morning. I am going to finish the work that I came here today for the people. Leacock shouted across. He said, well, we ain't staying here after 10 o'clock. You can stay if you want. We're not staying here. I said, please go. Go. I will finish my business. And at 5 minutes to midnight, I moved the suspension of the Parliament to 10 minutes past midnight on Friday the 18th. And when we were going into 4 in the morning, by that time, almost every one of the NDP fellas left the Parliament. Friday said, you're abusing the Parliament. I say, abusing the Parliament? You all waste time all morning with all kind of things which, in the circumstances, are not so critical. You telling me I'm abusing you by having you here at 3 o'clock in the morning finishing my work? I said, you have a roof over your head in Beckway. There are thousands of people in your constituency, in the Southern Grenadines and elsewhere, with not a roof over their head. And I have money in this supplementary budget to fix those things to the people. Are you talking to me about abusing you? I say you have 1 day a month to come here to work. 1 day. And you complaining going past midnight into 4 in the morning. That gives you a measure of the lack of consideration of the New Democratic Party. I want to remind you also that when we went subsequently, later in the year, for an appropriation bill, supplementary appropriation bill, for $41 million to complete the housing program, every person on the opposition side opposed the extra money. They said, you got 3 more months to go before election. I say, you know the election date? 3 more months to go, they say. The people must wait until we, the NDP, win government, and then we will fix what is there to be fixed. But we ain't giving you no more money. I say, well, listen to me. You may not support it, but it's not yours to give. The people have given me a majority. If you want to be a nuisance, you can be a nuisance. But this bill is going to be passed, and I'll have the money to build the houses them. It's a simple, straightforward matter. I don't understand this arrogance, not giving me. They have anything to give me? The people have given me. The people have given me what I asked them. The government and the authority to do things on behalf, and which is what we have done for 25 years, near 25 years, including the years after Beryl. Listen, labor love is a powerful thing, eh? A very powerful thing. I tell you that all the time. Ask Terence. Ask Terence. Terence was in Union. The morning when, after the disaster, Terence was walking as though he was in a daze. And that's understandable. It's a terrible thing. You had to be really strong and special not to have been in a daze. And Terence is neither strong nor special. There's a lady, King Mitchell granddaughter. A Santa Day? Where's Santa Day? A Santa looked at him, a labor woman, a young woman, and said, Terence, you ain't look good. You have anything to eat yet? He said, no. He said, come and let me give you some breakfast. That's labor love.
Backpack music.
Thank you for life, Jaja. Oh yeah, I feel so happy today.
You know, Derek there? Derek Charles? Where Derek there? Derek there wrong? Derek, tell me a story. I want Derek to tell the story. Because the story interesting for the people of CANOUAN and Union Island and Myra to hear it. If Derek ain't the nearby, he could come and tell the story later. I'd like it if he come at this time. But Derek there? You want to tell the story where you tell me just now? Derek and Hutchinson are the 2 men who clean up Union Island. The cost for cleaning up the southern Grenadines was $25 million, Eastern Caribbean. Derek, tell me the story. Wait, tell me something with Terence. Talk.
Comrades of Labours. And this story is factual.
You want to use this one more powerful.
I want the mic where comrade speaking on. My friend Terence, daughter,
who is my cousin. When Beryl struck, she was at my home. And the persons who know me, I have a twin daughter and a son. You see a family, that's the first thing. In times of disaster, you must know where your family is. Terrence's daughter spent the hurricane at my house. We had to jump a window about 5 feet to get to the downstairs apartment after the roof gave way. After 2 hours into the hurricane. I don't even believe up to this day Terrence know where his firstborn child was when the hurricane struck. You must know where your family is. If you want to represent people, you must know, your family must be represented before anybody else, because I love my children, and every man should love the children just like how a labor man does love each child. So when people saying, this woman Velox come to you and saying Terrence was busy looking after his constituents, I suck my teeth and go, you know. I suck my teeth and move. I suck my teeth. I get hungry because you know why? I put Tiki on the Jane and son when it came out of Trinidad and Passing Union. To meet a mother right in CANOUAN, Terrence never knew where his child was. 2 days after the hurricane, I make contact with my children in England through satellite phone. Because I know they were worrying about their mother and their father in United with this hurricane. And I don't think up to this point, Terrence knew where Tiki was. Not that I want to spread him out, but it's the reality. You can't represent people if you can't represent your children. You cannot represent people, you can't represent your children. You have to love them. And I telling them, you know, it's 30 full years them getting in opposition after this 27th of November, you know. You won't like it, you can run with it. But I know it's 30 full years they're getting up for this one. They could never take 8 seats from Ralph Gonzalez. And I'll tell you this, 1991, when they had the by-election, the first political meeting Comrade Ralph had at Leighton's shop in Ashton. It was himself, Julian Francis, and I think Uragi. When I listened to the powerful address he gave, I done with the NDP from that night, you know. I done with them from that night. So I know him in opposition, and I know him in government. And this is the best man for we. And I want to endorse Chevron tonight as the person we must vote for. Because I see a lot of future in her. I see a lot of future in her. I don't roll with losers. I do not roll with losers. I'm a winner. My middle name is Winston, and I like to win. I don't lose. God bless you, and I love you all, comrades.
Comrades, that is a powerful endorsement and a powerful statement about what happened in the immediate aftermath of Beryl. And you have to put all that in your judgment when you go into the polls on the 27th. And it doesn't matter what anybody tells you. As I told you the last time in 2020, and as I told you in 2015, as I told you in 2010, in 2005, in 2001, that don't pay attention with the NDP and they tell you that the NDP could win election. When James Mitchell gave up the leadership of the NDP as a party to form a government is finished.
But don't you remember? Don't you remember the reason you love me?
You know, in the years that I've been Prime Minister, when Son Mitchell was alive, Son Mitchell contacted me on the Monday after the elections. The elections was on a Wednesday. I was sworn in as Prime Minister on Thursday the 29th. James Mitchell telephoned me on the 2nd. Sorry. He telephoned me on Friday. Telephoned me on Friday the 30th. Said that he wanted to come to see me on Tuesday if I could accommodate him. I said, son, anytime you want to see me, come. We set a time because we had always had friendship despite rivalries. And he came. And from then, he and I used to talk on the phone almost every month, sometimes several times a month. He will support me on certain things. For instance, he didn't agree with me that I should build the airport. He said if the developers want the airport, let them build it. I said, but the point is this. The developers are doing developments in their own area. The people of CANOUAN is relying on the government to do something. And that's why when it was opened, he said, you know, when I think about it over and so on, I think you was right. He said, Ralph, I think you're right. He said, it's just like, he said, you know, he told me, he said, the deal which I did for in the North, if I had to do it over nowadays, he said, I didn't think I would have done it that way. Never said so publicly. And he also told me that he don't want me to talk about it like that. Now, the current NDP, its leadership is without any direction. It is chaotic. Friday is lazy. Friday is weak. Friday is indecisive. And Friday is a fake. And more than that, as a man who thinks that he could be a Canadian resident in Beckway and represent the Northern Grenadines and to become Prime Minister is an absolute joke. And we have to put a stop to this damn foolishness. You can't have divided loyalties.
Them fake. Watch out the haters I fight them now want your rice cause them fake. Them fake. See them a men up round the corner.
Listen to me. There's a young lady who was president of the youth arm called the Young Democrats. She made a video yesterday or the day before. I saw this beautiful, bright, professional woman, confident, saying she was born into NDP. But why this time she has to vote for her future? You have that clip?
I was NDP all my life. I served as president of the NDP Young Democrats. I knew Dr. Godwin Friday and many of the candidates very well. I saw Godwin Friday's chaotic approaches, his lackluster styles of operation, and his refusal to act and make decisions. I experienced Godwin Friday's laziness with my own eyes. The NDP offers uninformed policies that will not develop us as a nation. If you don't believe me, ask them about their foreign policies. Our nation is vulnerable to hurricanes, natural disasters, and so much more. We need strong leadership that provides scholarships, invests in our youth, and grows our economy. The code to youth development is having a good leader, not simply having a good smile. My name is Vakisha John, and I am owning my future. I will be voting for the ULP.
No, you can't get it better. You really, it is fantastic. There are 4 sets of forces aligned against the Unity Labour Party government. None of them has the interests of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a whole in their heart. In fact, at the moment, the NDP will not deny that it is getting substantial resources to fight this election from at least some of these forces arraigned against the Unity Labour Party government. I will tell you what they are. And in total, they amount to a recolonization of our country, including CANOUAN, not within the interests of the people of the Southern Grenadines, of CANOUAN, or of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The first, the people who want to sell our passports and our citizenship. Well, if Friday and Bramble think that because they have Canadian passport, even though they're born in St. Vincent, they could still run in politics and sit in parliament, the highest decision-making body in the land, it is not surprising that they have such little regard for our citizenship and our passport and are willing to sell them and sell them to a lot of vagabonds. Citizenship is the highest office in the land. It is the office which binds us together in a political society called a state. Citizenship is what creates rights and obligations between us. It is sacred. You cannot sell it like yam, dashin, sprat. Tanya, thank you very much. You can't sell it like a commodity. And the passport is the outward sign of the inward grace of citizenship. And that too is not for sale. And everywhere you have this selling of passports, selling of citizenship, things become more and more difficult for their citizens to travel. 2 days ago, on the 17th of this month, the European Union Political Council, the highest executive political body in the 27th member state European Union, said that they are making their rules sharper and they're publishing them. And within 20 days after, they're getting the power. If you have visa-free status to enter the European Union for 90 days, they're going to cut it off. No. Remember, this government negotiated visa-free status for us to be in the European Union without visa. You go and make the mistake and elect the NDP government. And they gone and have citizenship by investment, which they say they're going to do. Put your pot on your fire, and you will not have visa-free entry to Europe anymore.
When I see my friends become my enemy, I have stay far. No one near them will not go. No link, no bar.
And Britain has already done so with 1 or 2 countries who sell passports and citizenship to foreigners. And they have made it plain that they will cut it off completely. Donald Trump in America has said that he will make it difficult for any country with sell passport and citizenship to get a visa. The same thing the Canadian Prime Minister said. So you put Friday and the NDP in power. When you can't go to America, when you can't go to Canada, when you're finding it difficult to go to Britain and Europe, remember I told you so in CANOUAN. Remember I told you so in CANOUAN. In fact, rather than having a situation where you wouldn't be able to get into the US even because they wouldn't grant you visa easily, I wrote a letter on the 22nd of April to Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State. And this is the introductory line in my letter. I wrote, Your Excellency, I am formally requesting that favorable consideration be granted for nationals of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be accorded a waiver of visa to enter the United States of America as visitors, subject to the usual conditions, such as those touching and concerning the visitor's good conduct, security record, and his or her possession of a sufficiency of funds required for the period of the visit. I went on to explain to Marco Rubio that we have visa-free status to Britain and Europe, and we don't abuse it. And that Vincentians who reside in the United States are overwhelmingly law-abiding and hard-working citizens. I pointed out also that we don't sell passports, and we will not allow China to take over our country. Conversation, of course, other countries in the Caribbean can make the application as they see fit. I'm telling you, we have had continued conversations at particular levels, and I'm very hopeful that after the elections that we can continue these conversations very seriously. You will note that the governor of the United States Virgin Islands, Governor Albert Bryan Jr., made a statement. He had 2 interviews, which I saw online. And he did an interview with St. Vincent Times, which published a story a few days ago, where he said he has $24 billion in federal money to spend over the next 10 to 15 years. His problem, he needs workers to deal with airports, schools, to deal with sea defenses, river defenses, and the like. And he says he wants a minimum of 5,000 workers because he doesn't have enough. And the two places he identified of seeking to get workers from are Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He says further, he's asking the American government, because the U.S. Virgin Islands is part of the United States of America, to give a visa waiver to Barbadians and Vincentians to come there to work. He says he wants to have a memorandum of understanding with each of these governments, and I have spoken to the governor myself after he has made this statement, because this is a fantastic opportunity. Ordinary laborers on the construction site get 20 US an hour. That's $160 US a day. US a day, US Virgin Islands. And that carpenters, masons, plumbers, and the like, that they will have considerably more money. And I want, after the election, to sign this memorandum with the governor and want to take names for those who may wish to go there for a period of time and make a living. We have a shortage, I admit. But all we do, we train more young people at our technical institutes across the country in construction-related skills. And make that arrangement. And make that arrangement with the United States Virgin Island government. On the other hand, selling the passport and the citizenship, going to make you, well, you go travel in St. Vincent and you will travel in the Caribbean. But you're going to find it difficult to go elsewhere. That is what you want? These policies, what they're talking about, the NDP, they're all driven by greed for people inside and associated with the NDP. And the wannabe passport sellers. The wannabe sellers of our passport. Secondly, the Chinese companies, they're on the visa racket too, but they want to change from Taiwan to China. And they're also funding the NDP. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Right now, the NDP placed an order for 16 vehicles. 16 vehicles at an average cost of $150,000. Because we have a policy. We allow you up to 20 vehicles, each party, for the purposes of the election. People come to me about buying new vehicles. I say, buy new vehicles for what? We'll buy second-hand vehicles, and when they mash up during the election period. But because of the extent of the financing that they have from overseas. 16 vehicles at $150,000. Pickups. That's $2.4 million. Where the hell them I get that money from? From Leacock? From Friday? Yeah? I want to bring certain things to your mind tonight. The NDP is bent on selling out St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the wannabe passport sellers, to the Chinese. Already, you know what is happening in the NDP camp? To show that they don't even tell this fella Shallow what's happening. Shallow said that year 1 or 2 ministers buy vehicles. Well, there's no problem if anybody who is walking buy a vehicle. And to pay whatever duty, if they have a concession, they pay less duty. But he didn't know. They didn't tell he that they get money to buy 16 vehicles in the first instance. But already they're fighting. They're supposed to go in NDP name. But one man already put one of the vehicles in his name. They ain't reach in government yet. But they're trying to break the rules. And I waiting. You know, my man with a patience and calm. I waiting until they talk about it. And if they don't talk about it before the election, I will talk. I'm giving them a chance. Just like how when Friday came down here on a boat. About 4 weeks ago. And Pinataro people from the north pick him up and take him by Mandarin and have discussion with him for 2 hours. And he ain't tell nobody. He ain't tell nobody anything. It's only when I talk about it about 3 weeks after, he said something. And he said, well, yes, he went there for talks with people because he's forming the next government and he wants to find out. Well, everybody knows. If Friday talk to 2 vagrants on the street of Kingston, he call a press conference. If Friday talk to an old lady, an old man, and a dog on Beckley Express, he call a press conference. But they pick him up from here by the wharf, which we build over, and take him up by Mandarin Hotel. But he ain't said nothing for 3 weeks until the comrade raised the question. Well, I'm coming now to the principal developer in the north. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. And those of you who have a vote in CANOUAN and the whole people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this issue which I'm about to talk to you is an issue on the ballot. If you reject the Unity Labour Party and Chevron Stewart, and you reject Chevron Stewart and the Unity Labour Party, I am telling you this. If you do that, it would be clear that some of you who don't support her, who don't support Chevron Stewart, that you will be supporting the recolonization. And if you were alive at the time of Chatoyer, you would have supported the British against Chatoyer.
Father God, I make them fight me so hard. I look at things and me no coward. A lucky thing me put me trust in the Lord. Them want me for dead in the mud like dog. No make the hope you walk at them get no reward.
Let me tell you this. I have written to Mr. Pinataro, and I'll quote from the letter just now. I have written to Mr. Pinataro to tell him that I want back the land in the north. I told him I want back the land in the north. You know, I'm a man of great patience and calm. I told him that I've done a valuation by an international company of the remaining years of the lease lands. These lands don't include the Mandarin because that is a separate agreement. That is separate. That is not lease. That is freehold. I'm a reasonable man. I don't want to interfere with the 15 parcels personally owned by Pinataro companies. I'm talking about the rest up there. It doesn't include Tamarind, and it doesn't include Soho House. It's a separate arrangement. I will talk to you about that. But the land up in the north, I want it back. Do the people of CANOUAN want me to take it back? Or you want me to just walk away and leave here tonight and go home and forget about everything? And the valuation we have put to it is $36.5 million US. This is a great national struggle on which I have embarked in relation to Mr. Pinataro. They are hoping, of course, that the election will come. And if by some miracle the NDP were to win, the lack of development in the north will continue because you can expect listen to me. Listen to me. When I wrote the letter to Pinataro, I'm not having any personal quarrel with Mr. Pinataro, you know. I don't dislike Mr. Pinataro. I have no disrespect for him. As far as I'm aware, he's a highly successful businessman. But I have to look out for the interests of the people of CANOUAN, and I have to look out for the interests of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's not an easy road. How many cities come and they get us so they think I better roads. Me say, who feels it knows?
I'm not saying anything derogatory about him. I'm not defaming him. I'm not pulling him down. I am talking about what is happening up in the north. And this is what I wrote him. I said, the lease, that is the lease to him, was granted in expectation that the project would generate 1, full-time employment to Vincentians who would assist with the construction of new villas and long-term employment to deal with ongoing maintenance and management and operation of the resort. 2, revenues for the state through stamp duty, alien landholding license fees, VAT and employment tax revenues. Those are the purposes for this lease. I said this following. Regrettably, that purpose has not been fulfilled in letter or in spirit. All new development on the leased land governed by the lease has been at a standstill since the end of 2017. And the government is compelled to conclude that the objectives of the lease are not being met. At first, he came with plans. And I says, all right. A man needs some time to get his plans going. Then COVID came. Then volcanic eruptions came in 2021. But after that, I ain't see any movement right up to now. And I said to myself, things can't continue like this. And I wrote him and I'm putting it to the people so you can make a determination. You hear me? This matter I'm talking to you about is one of the most momentous efforts since 1990 in CANOUAN for the people of CANOUAN to have the land in the north properly developed in their own interests. There are many people who will grumble about what's going on up there. But you don't want to say anything? Well, the comrade giving you a chance to say something at the ballot. No. I made it plain in the letter. For clarity, the valuation that this offer pertain only to the lease portion of the lease. Freehold properties owned or operated by you or CRD Holding Limited or its subsidiaries or affiliates, including the Mandarin Oriental Resort, and the 15 parcels owned directly or indirectly by companies ultimately controlled by you or your nominated directors are excluded from this valuation. Now I'm coming to this now. I'm coming to this. I want to say to the workers who work in at Mandarin, this does not affect you. To the workers whom Pinataro hire otherwise, I'm not talking about the people who work in the villas. Those are the individual villa owners. The number of people who he employed otherwise, I'm saying, if he thinks he's going to pressure the government or the people, we're saying that those would be laid off. I'm making a solemn promise to you. Anybody he lays off as a result of the action which I'm taking, I will make certain that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines pay your salary even to stay home.
Never forget the dumb plan or where we come from, yeah. Real talks never worry about being gone. Cause we destiny don't plan. Some say we
No. I know you have to go back on the boat shortly. And I want to tidy up about the people who trying to buy this country if you have to put the NDP. There is a group called from Trinidad, the financiers of the ruling party, the UNC. I'm not saying Kamala, the leader, know about this. But they have operatives on the ground right now. And they're putting a lot of money in the NDP. Why are they doing so? They want to get on the cheap. The land at the waterfront from where we just moved the port. The land at Arnes Vale, where we're going to build the modern city. They want to buy at a knockdown price the port that I just built. They want to buy the hospital which we are building. Because they want to privatize the hospital, which would make life difficult for you. Now, these are big questions. I came to CANOUAN to talk about them tonight. This is perhaps one of the most consequential public meetings in these elections. Now, we have rebuilt the Southern Grenadines in a magnificent way. In every single dimension. When people saw the Southern Grenadines, they thought that it will take 5 years. Look at CANOUAN now. Look at around us. Look at what happened to the electricity, the water. Look at what happened to the hospital, the police station. Look at what happened in Myro. The same thing in Union Island. And in this week, I signed a $100 million US agreement with Palm Island. Investors who are going to rebuild Palm Island. They start to knock down the place and clean up and all the rest of it. Your government is working. And I want to thank Ian Alleyne, who is not a developer. He's a homeowner. He wanted to spend maybe $3 to $5 million to help CANOUAN. I tell him, I want you to come to me to Union Island and Myro. And when I show him, he said, Ralph, what are you going to do here? I say, it depends on your ambition. How large is your ambition, my brother? And I talked to him, as he has said publicly. And I persuaded him. And he spent 25 million US of his own money. The government, of course, has spent far more than that. But his was the largest single number outside of the government. And I went about. I did a lot of diplomacy with him and with the Romanians. In fact, the Romanian Chamber of Commerce is coming here before the election to cement our business. You have Ian Weiss. It's not long, it's 4 minutes.
Ian Weiss. Some of you may know me from the work that I did with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines around Hurricane Beryl. For 14 months, I worked tirelessly with the government and with Ralph Gonsalves to effect the change that ultimately became a world-beating recovery to a Category 4 hurricane. It was a devastating blow for your country. And into that I stepped and with this partnership effected change that nobody could believe could have happened so quickly. Over 14 months of working together with Ralph Gonsalves over Hurricane Beryl, I developed a strong personal relationship with him. And in that time, I realized what a remarkable leader he was. He always made time for what we were trying to do. He always thought about the people. He always thought about what he needed to do. He was tireless in pursuit of trying to rectify the enormous destruction. And he enabled me to do whatever I needed to do in order to be able to get the outcomes that we actually got. That is remarkable leadership in a world that lacks strong leadership. My next point is this country needs to have a vibrant economic future. The whole of the Southern Grenadines need a vibrant economic future. That is not well served by a developer who does not actually share those same values, and for too many years has failed to deliver an environment where anybody has wanted to invest in those islands. It's not just about CANOUAN, it's about the whole of the Southern Grenadines. If we can get the right investors, then the opportunity for the Southern Grenadines is incredible. And with that, tax receipts, and with that, growth, and with that, therefore, the stability for you as individuals, for everything you should rightly deserve. But we have to get a vibrant economy. You can't do that with somebody who just does nothing. Nothing for homeowners, nothing for the locals of all of these wonderful places. It's squandering. So the problem is today, we're faced with a choice. On one hand, you have the ULP and Dr. Gonzalez, who is prepared to challenge one of the developers on the north end of CANOUAN. He's prepared to say that that developer should forfeit their lease. This is a radically important move, and it's unbelievably important for the future of this country. If the opposition gain traction, this will never happen. And with it, the opportunity for change will disappear. So we have a choice to make. Do we want a vibrant future under strong leadership? Don't waste your vote. On the 27th of November, you are being asked to make a choice. It is a choice that says, do you want leadership? Do you want investment? Do you want a strong, vibrant opportunity? If my word means anything to you all, which I know that it does because you are so kind to me about what I've actually done, if my word means anything, please understand that when I tell you, you need to focus up on this thing. Please, don't waste your vote. Come out and vote, but make sure that you vote the right way for the ULP and Dr. Gonzalez.
Now, comrades, let me say in winding up this. In my letter to Mr. Pinataro, I indicated to him that the records show, and I have been advised by those responsible for the requisite record keeping and legal advice, that he did not comply with the Alien Landholding License Act. And because of that, I can apply to the court for forfeiture and don't pay anything at all. But I have never been a person who likes to just corner a man and leave him there. Just like when I applied for forfeiture and got the forfeiture for the 100 acres at Chatham, where they didn't comply with the Alien Landholding License conditions, I was prepared to provide money, a particular value for those lands. I am prepared clearly to argue about numbers, but I'm not prepared to argue that Pinataro, to allow that Pinataro should stay. I want to thank him for whatever little he intended to do, and I'm not bad talking him. I'm just talking about the interests of the people of CANOUAN and the interests of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I want to say this to you. Anybody in the north where the agents of the developers threaten you or do you any harm for whatever reason, please remember, you have a defender here. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Please tell me about it. When you go to the polls on the 27th, it is Chevron Stewart. It is the ULP's Comrade Ralph as leader. The NDP cannot win the elections. You're wasting your vote by voting for Terence. For another 5 years in opposition for 30 years, more than a jail sentence. Vote for Chevron. Vote Labour. Thank you very much. Good night.
Lord, here I cry, you run the race, you have paid everything. These words I long to hear the Savior say.
As we bid farewell to our comrades from Union Island and Myro, thank you for coming, comrades. And we wish you safe passage over. May God go before you and go with you. Hold the hand to the captain. Calm the seas so that you'll go over safely, comrades. Comrades, otherwise than that, those of us who are here, you have been a fantastic crowd for tonight's meeting. You've been respectful, you've listened, you've been engaged and engaging. And we thank you so much for being here tonight. Comrades, we thank you for showing up and letting CANOUAN know that Labour is alive. We thank you for showing up and letting Labour know that Siobhan Stewart, your candidate, the person that you are going to vote for next week, is the person that you want to represent you in Parliament. Comrades, tonight's crowd was good. Tonight's crowd was good. But comrades, if this crowd, if the individuals who showed up here, if the comrades who stood here until, what time is it now? Until after 11, do not go to the polls and vote next Thursday, then comrade, all of this would have been for naught. Comrade, keep the momentum. Keep the momentum. But most importantly, keep engaged, keep active. Check, by now you should have checked to make sure that your name is on the list. And make sure you go out next Thursday and vote for Siobhan Stewart and the UN. A mistake is only a mistake if you don't correct it. I correct it immediately. Siobhan Stewart. Go out and vote for Siobhan Stewart next week, Thursday, here in the Southern Grenadines, to ensure that Labour wins and that she is sent to the cabinet. Comrades, get home safely. Have a great night, and God bless you. Don't forget, comrades, the boat is leaving, so please go quickly and get on the boat that is leaving